Scorpio, welcome back. This week I am doing love readings yet again for the week of May 30th until June 5th, 2021. This will be for sun, moon, or rising signs, and maybe your Venus sign in Scorpio should you cross watch. And as always, this is a general love connection reading. It might not resonate for you, and that's totally okay. Take the things that are for you today and leave everything else behind. Let's get into your higher vibes. As I mentioned before, when we talk about love connection readings, it's not always going to touch on romantic love. This may touch on intimate friendships that you hold or relationships with family members. We have love with lots of different kinds of people in lots of different ways. I truly believe that some of our soulmates on this planet are in friendships and those types of connections, not necessarily all romantic. So just keep an eye out and keep your mind open with the connection here. As always, if this reading does resonate for you, please leave me a thumbs up and any comments or questions you might have down below. I really feel that this is going to be the overall energy card for this reading, so I'm going to leave it right there. Let's see, Scorpio, what's going on here? Okay, looking at future planning, getting stuff together, moving forward in life, looking into what is coming next now with this Two of Wands energy in the overall connection. And that feels to me pretty consistent with what we are looking at down here. I also would venture to say that the nature of this relationship, if it is a romantic relationship, is a couple of people that are well settled into one another. There's no sense of like new love here or new connection here for me. For them in this connection, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. So somebody who's really kind of coming into their own right now. I think this has been maybe a bit of a turbulent period, but they're recognizing right now how much growth they have gone through, how much of themselves they can really authentically be out in the world, how vibrant they are on their own, and what they're able to manage without the assistance of other people. I think this has been a transitionary time for them, and they're coming to the end of this in a place where they can look back, really reflect on all that growth they've gone through, and let go of some of the expectations they put on themselves, some of the anxieties that they carry around with them, from this place of really having tangible evidence for what they've achieved and what they can achieve going forward. For you in this connection, Scorpio, it looks like you are going after something right now, maybe after a new job or after a new opportunity. But I think that you are kind of like acting, moving forward, going towards those things you want, but there's still a lot of uncertainty around them. You're waiting to hear back on things. You're waiting for information to be revealed, for opportunities to be revealed. But there's definitely a real focus for you right now relating to getting yourself a new opportunity to be able to expand a little bit more, to be able to earn a little bit more, but you're feeling very excited about this. You're in the space right now where like you want something new and you're not afraid to be like throwing yourself at it. Now, in the connection, we have the Death card, which is your card here in the tarot deck, the Page of Swords, and the Four of Cups. So interesting energy here in that something between the two of you is going to have to end, presumably with endings come new beginnings though. And there's a conversation that needs to happen for this to occur. And I think that this is a pretty weighted conversation. It may have to do with the direction that you both are moving in. So it's something that needs a lot of care and focus, but I think both of you are kind of like not paying attention to it right now. You don't want to fully engage in the conversation. You want to have kind of chats around the periphery of it. But you're not ready to face whatever that truth is just yet between you. I think there's knowledge that we need to talk about this. There's knowledge that something has to end here, something needs to shift, but we're not ready to talk about it just yet. And likely it's all to do with what direction we're moving in going forward. So we'll do some clarifying, see what we can learn. We'll start with this Two of Wands. Seven of Emotions, Queen of Emotions, and the Muse of Inspiration. So you may be entangled with somebody who is a fire sign or has a lot of fire in their charts. Otherwise, maybe somebody who's just like very confident, very much like knows who they are, know what they want, because there is and isn't a lot, you know, fire coming up here for me. It's interesting because this planning for the future is rooted in emotion. So this is talking to me about like how I feel about my future, how I feel about if I went in this direction, what surfaces for me when I think about going here, who is with me, and what is their impact, and what does that do for my emotional state and well-being. I see two people who feel very firmly rooted in who they are, two people that like carry with them their own very unique set of skills and abilities that complement one another. But I think there is a little bit of lack of communication maybe on those feelings, how you both feel about the future, how you both feel about the direction that you're moving in. And that might be what we need to address and talk about down here. Let's take a look for them at this Ten of Swords. Two of Emotions, the World, and the Two of Voices. Interesting. I think for them, there is some sensation of having to pick between the relationship, the partnership, and also like just starting over on their own. We also have this Nine of Pentacles energy here, and Nine of Pentacles energy really talks to us about independence, being able to become independently abundant and be able to take care of ourselves. And this is coming from a place of really understanding themselves, understanding their feelings, understanding their emotions, and they're working through a lot of mental stuff right now. They're working through a lot of cycling thoughts that they've been dealing with, ideas about themselves, about others that they have been, you know, trying to manage while also living their life. And I think they've kind of reached a point where an action needs to happen now, and I need to choose, am I going to continue to be committed to this relationship or pursue the next level of this relationship, go into the future in this relationship, or is it now time for me to cut ties and really start on something new by myself? Now, energies can always be inverted, so this may be picking up on some of your energy. They may be picking up on some of your energy in that same space. Let's take a look at the moon for you here. A lot of Cups energy, and with the moon here, maybe dealing with somebody with some Pisces in their chart. Temperance, the Hanged Muse, and the Five of Materials coming up here. Yeah, you're waiting. You're in a position right now where you're waiting, Scorpio, and I think you're trying not to seem like you're too invested in whatever it is that you're waiting on. You're trying to like play it cool, but you've been moving towards this with like intensity and focus and excitement, and I think you're like hoping it works out for you. There's a fear of it falling through and then like surfacing feelings for you maybe of not being good enough, not being deserving enough. You fear what you don't know right now, and that may be affecting, you know, other parts of your relationship with this person or with other people, because I think there's a bit of fixation happening here. You're trying not to seem fixated on it, but it's occupying a lot of your mental space. Let's take a look at the Page of Swords down here in the connection. Pages often bring with them messages. We'll see what this one has to say. Seven of Voices, Ace of Voices, and the Six of Voices. Yeah. I think one of you is considering cutting ties within the connection to one another, to be able to move on to something that feels a bit more authentic to you. You being you or you being them in this instance. I don't think that the decision has been made yet. I think this is what we need to talk about. Like, are we both moving in that same direction here? Do we have the same idea of what we want? Or have we been kind of like saying that we're both looking for the same thing, saying that we're moving in the same direction to just avoid having conflict or tension in the relationship? Obviously, the two of you are avoiding having a conversation about this and need to have a conversation. Let's take one last message here from Spirit for you. Ace of Cups, Ten of Wands, and the Four of Swords. Yeah, cut and dry. Do I stay or do I go now? Right? I think this is something that you're both sort of sitting on, something that you're both thinking about. there needs to be a conversation here. I do think that there is like real love and care between the two of you here, but you're both focused on your own futures right now. You're both focused on where you each want to go, and you're not either one of you sure if you're both working towards the same thing anymore. Whereas previously, maybe you were always working as a unit, but now you're both like locking sights on your own goals. Obviously, you're applying for positions and keeping your eyes open for opportunities, and maybe they're not going to be in alignment with what your partner needs or wants right now. So there is some sense of sitting on a decision of, do I continue to pursue the love I have for this person, or is it time to, thank them for their impact on my life and start to move forward? So I think ultimately here's Scorpio, and I know it's challenging for a Scorpio to like talk about your feelings, open up. There's like, that air of mystery with the Scorpio in what they are thinking, what they are feeling. But you can't avoid this conversation forever, because I think it is equally impactful on both of your lives and the direction that you're moving in. So really keep that in mind if this was resonating for you today. If it was, please subscribe, do hit that thumbs up, leave me your comments, and we'll see you next week.